Welcome back, everyone. Today we have another episode of What If. So, today we're doing What If 2010, and you're probably thinking, Brandon, why are you doing What If 2010? They already won the Cup in 2010. Well, why? Because it's just chronological and it gives me another video to post before I get to the good stuff. So, yeah, 2011, 2012, very good. 2014 is going to be very good. 2016 should be pretty good. 17... meh, 20 meh, but yeah. So, So we're going to go through this, and as you can see, there's only one circle on the board for 2010, and that is in the final, but we'll get there. So, in round 1, the Hawks played Nashville that year. They lost 4-1 in Game 1, they win 2-0 in Game 2, they lose 4-1 in Game 3, win 3-0 in Game 4, win 5-4 in overtime in a thrilling comeback in Game 5, and they win 5-3 in Game 6 in Nashville. In round 2, they play Vancouver for the second year in a row. They lose 5-1 in Game 1, but then in Game 2, 3 and 4 win 4-2, 5-2, and 7-4. And then in Game 5, Vancouver wins 4-1, but Game 6, Chicago clears it up with a 5-1 victory. So, just demolished Vancouver whenever they were in Vancouver. You have 5-2, 7-4, 5-1. Every time they were in Vancouver, they just destroyed them. Round 3, they play San Jose. And they win 2-1, 4-2, 3-2 in overtime, and 4-2 in a 4-game sweep of the number 1 seed in the West. So we've had 2 overtime games so far, 1 and 2. They win both. And then in the final, they play the Cinderella Philadelphia Flyers. They win 6-5 and 2-1 at home in games 1 and 2. Game 3 is the turning point of the series. The Flyers have been playing excellent. They were keeping up with Chicago, which was something that not many teams could do. San Jose didn't. Vancouver surely didn't. Nashville was better than Vancouver, but they just could not contain the Hawks' offense fully. And Philly I thought, was the best team to actually do it, despite what this is. This one was Game 1, you're nervous. This one was just Chicago dominating at home. But 4-3. Claude Giroux scores on a Matt Carle shot. He deflects it in. We're going to say Niemi saves it. So let me get out the whiteboard. So we have Michael Layden in net for Philadelphia. We have Niemi in net. Giroux is right here. You have Bolin, Seabrook, Keith, Matt Carle. Matt Carle has the puck. He shoots it, tips off Giroux, goes through Niemi and in. We're going to say it doesn't do that. We're going to say Niemi gets his blocker out just in time to save it. And you have Seabrook was actually on this side. I don't know why I drew him here. But, yes, I watched the replay of the stuff from different angles. And we're going to say Seabrook takes the puck from here. So the puck gets to Seabrook. Seabrook will pass it up to Bolin. Bolin, who has... the one angle I couldn't find is who was on the ice with Bolin. So I'm going to assume since it was Bolin's line, it was probably... That was the third line, so that's probably Versteeg and... Who? That would be Versteeg and Brouwer, maybe? But Brouwer was on the second line, so I don't think so. It was Versteeg and... I'm just having a Ladd, that's who it was. So you have, we're going to say you have, because you can't even see them on the screen, so you're going to have Versteeg, and you're going to have Ladd. Ladd was a left winger, Versteeg was a right winger, and so you probably have Braden Coburn was the partner here, and you also had a Philadelphia player here and a Philadelphia player here. So let's say that this rush is going to happen. Bolin gets it up to Versteeg, and Versteeg and Ladd, and wait, that's not Versteeg. This is Versteeg. So Versteeg and Ladd go. So they both go this way. Coburn tries to catch up to them. He hasn't because he's bigger. You have Carl, who's doing his best to get back. This player right here, I want to say it was Hartnell, maybe Van Riemsdyk. I don't remember who. But they're trying to get back, but it's essentially a Ladd and Versteeg 2-on-1. They pass back and forth, 1, 2, 3. Versteeg is right here. He puts it in. Game 3 goes to Chicago as they take a 3-0 series lead on the Flyers. Now, that might sound all fine and dandy, but at this point they would have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games, which hasn't been done since I think the 92 Penguins and Blackhawks, because they both did it that year on their way to the final. And I'm trying to think of what I was about to say. But then we have Game 4, which is in Philadelphia. Philadelphia was down 3-0 against Boston in round 2. And they came back from that. Do I think they do it again? Absolutely not. I do not think they do it again. However, I do think they win Game 4. I do think Philadelphia is keeping Game 4. They win that one 5-3, sure. But then Chicago comes home, and Game 6 is no longer necessary because Chicago wins the cup at home. Best drawing of Stanley Cup I can do. I can't draw if you can't realize that. Pretend that didn't exist. So that means in the timeline, 2009, they lose in finals to Pittsburgh. And I believe it was 6 games. So yeah, 6 games. And then 2010, win Cup against versus Philly. It takes a long time to write this. I don't know why I did not abbreviating. Went over Philly in 5. So we're gonna keep track of this what if timeline for the overtime edition. But yeah, you see in 2009 they lose in the finals. 2010 they win it all. And if the sky's the limit for Chicago at this point. However, the salary cap strikes and they lose a good chunk of their team, including Bufflin, Ladd, 11 roster players: Versteeg, Burish, Eager, Frazier, Sopel, Jordan Henry. I forgot about him. There were a lot of players that had to go after that because of that whole mess up or possible fraud, as there are conspiracies in Chicago whether it was Dale Talent's fault and it wasn't sabotage so that Stan Bowman could be elevated to the job. But anyway, that's really all I have for you guys today. Do you think this would have followed the path if the Hawks win this game in overtime? And do you think they win in 5? Do you think Philadelphia comes back and wins the series after being down 3-0 again? Do you think that's a motivating factor for Philly? Or do you think what I think, and that they win in 5? And if Game 6 never happens, that means Taves never tears his ACL. And there was actually a press conference for the 10-year anniversary. It was Sharp, Bickle, Versteeg, Burish, and Bolin. And they talked about how after the Philadelphia tied the game with like 4 minutes to go in Game 6, Taves got landed on by, I think it was Hartnell. He landed on his leg. He ended up tearing his ACL and would not have played Game 7, so Quenneville came up with a plan to send him out there. And then he immediately went off overtime because he didn't want Philly to think that was hurt. Taves was hurt, because that is a pretty big motivating factor if the captain of the other team is hurt. So, yeah, Taves would have never torn his ACL. That would never happened. Chicago wins in Game 5 at home, and they don't wait till 2015 to win the Cup at home. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today once again. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of What If. 2011 will be up tomorrow, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the draft tonight. If the Hawks end up getting a first-round pick, I will post a profile on the guy like I did Nolan Allen last year, which is one of the best viewed videos on my channel for some strange reason, even though it's like a 2-minute video. But anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.